How are you guys doing? I hope you guys are doing well. Today it's another Friday on Winnie's Corner, and I'm excited to be with you today. And as you can see, I'm all alone today. Amy couldn't make it. She had some things that tied her down, and she couldn't make it at this particular time for the show. But don't worry, I'm going to try my best to say as much as I can. So wherever you are, please join me in this conversation, and I'll really appreciate it if you can share the video for me. Please call other people to watch, because maybe there's something I can say here that can help someone. We don't know. So I really appreciate it if you can share the video and then invite some of your friends to be part of the conversation. And I really hope that by the end of this live show, someone is going to pick something that is going to help them in their marriage. Even if they are not married, in the future, it can be of help to them. So I really appreciate the fact that, you guys are watching and that you're part of the show. So I'm just going to start right away. As you can see on the screen, the title of today, it concerns married people, but I feel like everyone can also be part of it, because you might learn something that is going to help you when you get married. So don't say that, oh, this doesn't concern me, it's only for married people. No. So just be part of the conversation. Knowledge is never wasted, so you can just be part of it. You can just watch, so that you don't know, you might help someone that you see it's making one of these mistakes. You can say, oh, my sister, this is, I learned about this, this helped me, and I just want to share it with you, and it might help them. I just want to also start by saying that excuse me, uh everybody have their own journey, like, in life. Nobody's journey is the same. Everyone is going through their own journey, going through their own path. So I'm not coming here to say that your journey is the same as mine, and that I know what you're going through, and that I have the solutions and blah blah blah. No, that's not what I'm here to say. I'm just here to just bring out, this knowledge that I think I have in some particular issues, like in relationship and marriage, that I know that many people want to hear. And as a Christian, everything I know from who I am as a Christian. So I just thought, and that was one of the things that made me to start Winnie's Corner, started my YouTube channel, started my vision. So it's actually like, this is a vision for me, to be able to create a platform where women can come together, learn and grow, and build better marriages and build better homes, and then it can lead to a better society and a better world. So that's what Winnie's Corner is all about. So I was just rambling, waiting for people to come in before I really start talking, so that's why I haven't started yet. But like I was saying, please don't forget to like my Facebook page, Winnie's Corner on Facebook. And why not subscribe to my YouTube channel? I also have videos there that I think are educative, that can really help, especially single ladies, to learn a thing or two. So why not subscribe? So I'm just here alone, and it's kind of strange because I'm always here with my friend. But it's okay. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So I'm here to just get into the nitty gritties of what I have today. So the topic of today says, it's all about the mistakes married women make. Uh, yeah, last time I and Amy, we talked about mistakes single women make. So today we are coming with mistakes I am coming, because she's not around. I am coming with the mistakes married women make, and so that's what I'll be focusing on today. Yeah. So yeah, let's get into it. I'm just waiting for people to come in, so that I should not start talking without anyone benefiting from the conversation yet. So that's why I'm just stalling myself, just waiting for people to come in. So yeah. Yeah, so I can see people are coming in. So please, if you can share the video, that would be great. If you can share the video, that would be great. Someone else can watch us. Yeah. Okay. So I'm doing everything alone. So don't mind me using my phone. I'm trying like to uh like make send the link to people who asked for it. People who are not on Facebook who asked for the link to watch. Maybe from I don't know. People asked me to send the link, so that's what I was trying to do. Okay, so let's get into what I have for you today. The topic is, as you can see, mistakes married women make. So the first mistake that I think that married women make is having their marriage without God, is leaving God out of your marriage. And this comes first because to me, as a Christian, this is the foundation of everything that we do. We do not want to get into things, we do not want to get into marriage, do marriage without God. I'm just going to start by reading the verse, Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 to 6. And it says that trust in the Lord with all your heart. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. When it comes to marriage, marriage is between two people, but actually, marriage is between three people. Marriage is between God, the man, and the woman. So you cannot like just leave him out because when most women are single, they like everything, they pray about it. Oh Father, I want to get married. They pray, they commit their heart's desires to the Lord, they trust in him to give them a spouse. And when God has brought someone into their life, when God has blessed them with this heart desire, when God has made them to find a life partner in order to share their life with, once they get married, they forget about God. Whatsoever thing that they are going through in their marriage, now they don't include the Father, they don't include God. They want to do it on their own. They say, oh, it's my marriage. They don't like pray about issues in their marriage. They don't like commit themselves to God to be used, to be transformed. They just leave everything, they just leave God out totally. I think that is a big mistake that most women are involved. Sorry, that most women involved in, and that makes most of our marriages to fail. I personally believe that the reason why most marriages are failing is because they leave God out. Because whatsoever God is involved in cannot fail. Like when I say involved in, it's not about like just saying, "Oh God, I come." It's about like just him being the thing that rules in that marriage, not the thing, but the person that rules in that marriage. It's about him being the foundation in everything that you do in that marriage. And if we learn how to include the Father in our marriages, if we learn how to not to just call upon him when we feel like we have challenges in the marriage, or when you feel like, oh, things are not going well, that's when you like, oh Father, help me. And then after you feel like he has answered your prayer, and then you like just go to something else, and no, 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 it has to be every time. He is part and parcel of it. He's part and parcel of it, because he has a purpose for every marriage. He has a purpose for every journey in the marriage. So you want to include him because he is the one that created it, and he is the one that can tell you how to enjoy this wonderful institution that he has made available for us to enjoy. So you don't want to leave the Father out. So if you're listening to me as a couple, as a married person, and you feel like you've not been including the Father in your marriage, so it's time for you to include him. Let him be part and parcel of it. Let him be part and parcel of it. He is the one that can truly teach you on how to enjoy this institution. on how to go about this marriage, on how to be fulfilled in this marriage. He is the one that's going to satisfy you. His role in that marriage cannot be undermined. So that's what I'm trying to say, that leaving God the Father out of your marriage is a big mistake that married women make, especially as a woman. Your role in the house is to put things together. You are an administrator, and you want to administrate with God's help. You want to administrate with the mind of Christ. You want to administrate, the right way, and you need the Father to be involved. You need him to teach you through his son Jesus Christ that is within you on how to administer your home, on how to do everything that you want to do in that home. So that is the first point I'm making. For those who are just joining us, I just want to say again that I'm just on the first point on why. I'm just on the first point on the mistakes married women make. So whatever you do, you want to include the Father, because he is the one that is going to teach you. He's the one that is going to make you to get the value that marriage brings to someone. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to say on the first point. And I have Beyong Emilia commenting, and she said, let God be the foundation. Exactly. So let God be the foundation of your marriage. Do not think you can do it alone. I know there are a lot of marriages that are functioning outside of God. No, but we are Christians. As a Christian woman, as a Christian wife, it's your responsibility to do this, to play this role together with the Father. So just know that, we are not ordinary. We are not mere people. We are not like the others. We are Christians. We are different. We are the light of the world, So our marriages is supposed to be a place where God is involved. God is the foundation, and everything that we do in that marriage brings glory unto his name. So with that said, I just want to mention before I go to the second point that please, if you have a comment or if you have something to add, I'll really be glad to hear. So please, you can write it in the comment section. Thank you guys so much. So the next point, I just had to write my points down so I don't get confused. Our brains sometimes, so if I'm looking down, so I'm trying to read the next point that I want to talk about. So the next point I would like us to talk about is the fact that most married women make this mistake of supporting the wrong decision. It is what I call like wrongful submission, because a lot of women submit wrongfully. The wife is called to submit under the man. The Bible says that a wife, submit yourselves unto your husbands. Just like the church is submitted to Christ, that is how we are submitted unto our husbands. But you can submit wrongfully, and it's something like women make the mistake of supporting the wrong decision. And let me explain what I mean. What I mean about this point is that you see a woman who is married to this man, and the man is making a lot of mistakes. The man, first of all, steals from his boss, steals from the office, and it's okay with you. You don't tell your husband, no, this thing you're doing is wrong, and you call it, I'm being submissive. I don't want to talk. I'm submitting to my husband, even when he's doing something wrong, and you feel like you just staying back and not saying anything, and that's submission. No, that's not what submission is all about. That's not what it's all about. So you are submitting wrongfully. So you support the wrong decision. Your husband treats people anyhow. He treats his mother anyhow. He treats his siblings anyhow. And you, as the wife, you stay there and you don't say anything. You just stay there and you're like, it's my husband. What should I do? What should you do? We have the responsibility towards each other. Marriage it's more of like, it's a platform where God uses to transform us into the image of Christ. So God will use you to transform your husband. So you are the one that will open the eyes of your husband. When he's doing something wrong, you're like, no, honey, I'm not like in accord. What you're doing is wrong. What you're doing is wrong. Don't do this. Don't steal from your boss. Don't insult your parents. Take care of your parents. Call your parents. Just like Don't allow your husbands to just behave anyhow. You have a responsibility not to change him, but you have a responsibility to tell him if he's doing something wrong, because we are not able to change people. Only God has the ability to change anybody. So when you're telling him that what he's doing is wrong, it doesn't mean that you want to change him. No, you're simply trying to be the outer voice. If he's not listening to the voice within, if he's not listening to his spirit, which is Christ, the spirit of Christ, you are the outside voice. You are the outside voice that will tell him, no, baby, what you're doing is wrong. Don't support the wrong decision. It's a mistake I've seen a lot of married women make, especially when I was growing up. I saw these things. I used to ask myself, how can a wife allow the husband to do this? And you see, even your husband is doing wrong, the woman will be there supporting the husband. He is my husband. I can never, even if, I'm not saying that you should go and start shouting at your husband in public. No, I'm saying that, like, be the voice of his conscience when his conscience is not active. Be the voice that tells him, that calls him back to who he is. You tell him, oh, baby, this is not who you are. This is not your identity. As a child of God, this is not what you're supposed to do. As a son of God, that's how you remind him respectfully and not support him when he does something wrong. So because I've witnessed this a lot, when I was growing up with many couples, that will support their husband when they're doing something wrong. So we don't have to do that. It's a mistake. And you think you're doing this, you think you're doing something good, but in the long run, it's going to affect you. Because when he starts doing something wrong against you yourself, you cannot talk, so the same thing you're watching him do wrong to others, that's the same thing he's going to do to you. So we want to be able to tell our husbands when they are doing something wrong, and to be able to submit rightfully, not just submit in a kind of way where you don't. Some women submit in a way that they don't even like. They compromise. They do overdo compromising. Like, they compromise on everything. You don't have a voice of your own. You don't have a will of your own in the marriage. Whatever your husband says is yes, sir. I heard you, sir. You don't have a personality. And we know that if a marriage to be healthy, you as a woman, you need to have your own personality in the marriage. You need to be able to stand strong, and be you in that marriage. You cannot just say, I'm submitting. Everything he says is right. Even when he makes wrong choices when it comes to finances and every other thing, you're like, oh, he's the husband, let him do. No. It's not going to work, because it's going to affect your family. So that's what I'm trying to say for the second point, that most married women make the mistake of supporting their husband in the wrong way. And it's wrong, and it's a mistake, and it's going to affect you. It's good that we gain knowledge and we move on from this kind of, mistakes that we make in marriage, we women make in marriages. So Bayong Emilia, my friend, she says that it takes the fear and knowledge of God to know that as a wife, you have to be responsible to correct, encourage, and rebuke when need be in a respectful way. Exactly. So you have to do it respectfully, not that you do it in front of people and embarrass him. No. So you have to do it respectfully, and it's your responsibility to correct and direct and rebuke, just like Amy has contributed. Thank you so much, Amy, for the contribution. So yeah, so with that said, I hope that point was clear, and I hope that someone will learn from it. And if it's a mistake that someone is making, please know that it is a mistake. Start correcting your husband, start rebuking him in the right way, and making sure that you are the voice of his conscience when it's not there. So yeah, so Eloho says that very true. Have an opinion differing does not mean not submitting. Exactly. The fact that you differ doesn't mean that you're not submitting. Exactly. So Elvis Shum says, let the father lead, guide you in your marriage. In practice, this means doing things the way the father wants you to, and not the way you want. Adhering to the voice of the father within you, allowing his word to be your absolute guide and not your own understanding. Exactly. I read a verse in the beginning that says that, trust the Lord your God with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. So that just goes ahead to just like substantiate that verse. Thank you guys so much for the contribution. So the next point I'm going to talk about, the next point I wrote down was, women make the mistakes of not respecting their husband the head. I think this is very vital. Since from when I was a child, I saw this like in many marriages that surrounded me. Not with my mom, because I never ever saw my mom disrespect my father. I never saw it, even though my father was not the kind of father that deserves respect in quotes, because every man deserves respect. It doesn't matter how they behave. Respect is because that's how it's supposed to be. But no matter how my father treated my mother, I never saw her disrespect my mom, my father. So that was something I learned since when I was growing up, not to be disrespectful to husband. So but that's not what I saw around me. I saw a lot of disrespectful wives, and I see it until today. And I feel like to be disrespectful comes with a lot of familiarity. When you see, before a woman marries a man, they respect him, they talk to him in a very cool way, because they want something. And once they are married to that man, it's like, the man is now my friend, your friend. Like, he's your friend, but in your friend, like, it's not like your friend that you can just talk to anyhow, even though you're not supposed to talk to your friend anyhow. I don't know if that example works, but you know what I'm trying to say. But but there need to be the knowledge for women that you are called to respect your husband as the head. I'm going to read First Corinthians 11 verse 3. First Corinthians 11 verse 3. It says that, but I would have you know that the head of every man is Christ, and the head of the woman is the man, and the head of Christ is God. So it's an order in the kingdom of God. It's an order. God is a God of order. He has set an order. The man is the head because God has made it so. So we should stop relating it to gender. Oh, it's because he's a man. No. It's because God has made it so. So respecting your husband, it's a call that you've been called to do that. You've been called to do that, because if he plays the role as your husband, as the head, then you are called to respect him. You are called to respect him. So that's something that many wives do not do. They talk to their husbands anyhow, in front of their kids, in front of their colleagues, in front of their friends, in front of anybody. You talk to your husband anyhow. One thing women do not know is that the way you treat your husband is the same way other people will treat your husband. If you are disrespectful towards your husband, people will join you in being disrespectful towards your husband with you. I've seen a lot of women who talk to their husbands anyhow in front of their friends, and in no time their friends start talking to their husbands the same way, because you are not building an atmosphere of honor around your husband. You are not building an atmosphere of respect. Even if I know that there are times that you can be angry and they can just be a slip of tongue and you can just say anything. It happens, but we are talking about this constant disrespect that most married women show their husbands. It's wrong in the eyes of God. It's wrong, because you are called to respect him. I was watching a YouTube video, and a woman was saying, and she was like, hey, even when he just does this to me, I'm not going to respect him. No, you're not respecting him because he's going to always treat you well, because he's not going to make you angry, and he's not going to do things that will make you annoyed. But you're respecting him because you are called to do so. And he will not stop loving you because you are going to do everything right, because you're not going to annoy him. He will love you because he's called to love you. So it's indifferent. That's why the love in marriage is supposed to be unconditional. Just like the way God has loved us unconditionally, that's the way we are supposed to love our spouse unconditionally. We love them unconditionally as God has loved us. It is only when you understand unconditional love in marriage that you can truly understand what unconditional respect is. The respect you have for your husband, it's not supposed to be conditional. It's supposed to be unconditional. And the love your husband should have for you is not supposed to be conditional. It's supposed to be unconditional. So that's what we are trying to say. So there is this respect, this disrespect, that women have for their husbands. And it's sad, because that's the pace you're setting for your kids. You're teaching them that it's okay to be disrespectful to your husband in the future. And even the way you talk to their father, the children themselves, they don't even have any respect for their father. So the man loses his value in the house as the man. You're supposed to give your husband so much respect that even when the children, they have to deal with him, they know that it's with respect. They know that it's with respect. So yeah, so that's what we are talking about. And one thing respect does is that respect acknowledges leadership. For example, we respect your husband, you are telling him that he is the leader. You're confirming his position. You say, no, I respect you as the leader. You are encouraging him, to ride on and lead, because he is the leader of this family that has been created by God's wisdom. He is the leader. So your respect encourages him. Your respect makes him to be courageous, to go ahead and do things. Even if your husband is doing some things that are wrong, you should respectfully talk to him. Because when you respectfully talk to him, he's going to know that he's going to be pushed, to want to stand in that gap as a leader and lead your family ahead. So, very young Emilia, preach, girl. Oh God, am I preaching? Okay, me, say preach, girl. So Eloha says, when you are both one, how can you talk to him anyhow? You are indirectly disrespecting yourself. Exactly, that's what I'm trying to say here. Like, you think that if you're disrespecting your husband, you're disrespecting just him. It's yourself, because two of you are one. So we need to stop this aspect of disrespecting our husbands as married women. It's wrong, and that's not what we are called to do. That's not what we are called to do as a wife. We are called to respect. And someone will say that, what about the men? No, we are coming to the men. This is about women, and two wrongs don't make a right. So why don't you start by correcting yourself first, and then let the other person, be in the hands of God and also be corrected, So yeah. So I think I've spoken on this respecting a lot. It's something I've witnessed a lot, and it really breaks my heart each time I see it. Sometimes I'm ashamed of the women that disrespect. Like, I'm ashamed in their place of the women that disrespect their husbands. I feel so ashamed when I'm in a place where I see a girl talking to the husband anyhow. I feel like, let me just like go somewhere and hide, because it's not something I love. It's not something I love to witness. So I don't know whether other people, feel the same way. So you can write it in the comment section if you feel the same way. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to move on. Like I told you, if you see me looking at something, I'm just trying to look at the points I wrote down, so I shouldn't forget. Sometimes we can really forget a lot. So the next point is, I think the mistakes most women, married women make, is neglecting themselves. This is too much. I remember when I was growing up, most of the married women I knew were never good looking. Not that they were not beautiful, but they never you never see them really take care of themselves like that. It's about, I saw a lot of married women. I used to see married women as, women who were suffering because of what I saw around me when I was growing up. I know that the condition too can be hard, especially from back home, where there is no money, and this, looking good and taking care of yourself is not all about money per se. It's about just being presentable. It's about just being clean. It's about, you see a married woman with a husband and everything, and when most married women feel like when you get married, that's the end of it. You no longer need to shave, wear perfume, wear cologne. You don't longer need to. It's not important. First of all, I'm married. It's like, they're come to a place where they're like, I'm done. I've achieved. No. And I think that this aspect of women neglecting themselves physically is one of the reasons why adultery happens. I'm not condoning adultery. I'm not saying that. I'm not justifying it. The reason for something is not a justification for it. Before people go and quote me somewhere and say, Winnie said that men cheat because their wives don't look well. No, that's not what I'm saying. Get what I'm saying. What I'm trying to say is that this aspect of married women not taking care of themselves, it will make some men that this looking good matters to them, to be distracted in that marriage. That's what I'm trying to say. But even though it's not a justification for them to be distracted, but it's the reason why most of them are distracted. That's what I'm saying. So we need, as married women need to learn how to take care of yourself. Still make sure that you go on dates. I know it's hard, especially if you have kids. You know, it can be hard, especially if you're living like out of Cameroon or Africa, where we usually have a lot of support, and living like in countries where there is no support, it can be hard. But we can always figure out things. Try to make your relationship lively. Try to, no, not relationship, yeah, but your try to make yourself presentable to your husband. You try to always remember that thing, remain that thing that he's going to yearn for, that thing that he's going to want to have, that thing that he's going to want to cherish because of the way you look. And I just want to mention that men deal a lot with sight. What they see matters a lot to them. And for us women, what we hear matters a lot to us. So we should make sure that we satisfy our husband on this part of what they see. It should matter what you present to your husband. You know, and I was listening to a YouTube video of this lady who said that, you know, people were asking her, why does she always like do that? She's doing a lot. And I remember her explanation, and she said she's not doing a lot because there are some times that she's going to shave her hair and have like low cut. There are some times that she's just going to like do rasta, like braids. She will do a lot of things, and people will like, it's a lot every 2 weeks. Yeah, she says that because I want to look presentable for my husband. So it was not a downside. You know, I'm not saying that you should go and start exaggerating. Married men should go and start exaggerating and say, give me money, I want to look good for you. No, that's not what we are saying. We are saying that it depends, whatever the situation where you find yourself, you can still look good. You can still look presentable. You can still look neat. You can still look clean for your husband. That's what we are saying. Emotionally too, build yourself up emotionally. Don't get married and just you don't know anything. Because I remember one woman was complaining one time that her husband doesn't take her to, and I heard the friend gossiping and say it's because she doesn't know how to talk. It's because she doesn't know how to make a good statement. If you're married to a man, you didn't go to school, why can't you go to school? Now like that, it's so easy for you to learn. There are a lot of free things to learn from. You can go to school online for free without paying a kobo and still become like well knowledgeable. So it's not something you just sit back and say, oh, I didn't go to school, what should I do with my life? No, that's not, you need to like improve yourself emotionally, professionally. If you can work, you work, because it's not every woman that has been put in the situation to work. You know, everybody's journey is different, and don't compare your journey with another person. But if you're in a position where you can work, please work and add value to yourself. You know, the more you add value to yourself, the more you become attractive, you know, to your spouse. And I just got a comment says, don't take yourself for granted. Exactly. Don't take yourself for granted. You know, make yourself beautiful and presentable. Love yourself enough that someone will love you as much as you love yourself. You know, so that's what we are trying to say. That, you know, women, a lot of married women, they feel like, oh, it's okay. I'm married. Duh. I don't know. Yeah, maybe me was here, she'll laugh, you know. I'm married, so what, you know? So yeah, so leave there, so what, you know. You don't know that, you know, there are things that you need to do to keep your marriage. You know, marriage is not, you have to work on yourself, and indirectly you're working on your marriage. So this is what we are saying: work on yourself. You know, Amy is laughing. Oh God, I'm sure that she's going to join us next week, you know. So I'm just here. Don't mind me if I'm rambling, you know. This is the first time I'm doing this alone, so I'm kind of, yeah. So yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that we married women should learn how to take care of themselves, learn how to be presentable, learn how to invest in yourself, and do not take yourself for granted, you know, as the message said. Jackie, oh hi Jackie, be the best version of you. Exactly, be the best version of you. Marriage should not come and, it's like some people get married, it's like the married has squeezed out all the juice in them. Nigerians call it juice. All the juice, is it juice? Oh my goodness, oh goodness. It's like marriage has squeezed out all the good part of them. They are so dry. You get married and you don't even look anyhow present. You don't even look presentable. Like someone cannot look at you and say wow. Then how do you expect your husband to look at you and say you know, and say wow? So yeah. That's what we are saying. Yeah. So the next point I'm going to make, I think, yeah, the next point I'm going to make is the fact that this one goes mostly to the newly married. Most newly married women, they do not, they make the mistake of not readjusting from singlehood to marriage. Is it marriagehood? No, marriage life to married life. Yeah. So most single no most newly married women, they make the mistake of not like adjusting to married life. If you are a newly married woman, there needs to be a readjusting. Things will not be the same as they were when you were single. And you see, people are married 1 year, 2 years, and they still live like single people. And the way to know when a married woman lives like a single person is the kind of thing statements that she makes. The statement of I do not, it's my and I. You need to rephrase your statement for it to become we. And a man shall leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife, and the two shall become one. And remember, marriage is a representation of the union between Christ and us. And your union with your husband, or your union with your husband, it's like we are united to Christ. You guys have become one, just like the way we've become one with Christ. So you cannot say I. And just like the problem we have in Christianity, where most Christians thinking that it's all about them, they are living a mistaken identity, living away from Christ. They don't know that they have been joined with Christ. They don't know that Christ have become one with them. So they are living away. Therefore, they see themselves struggling, because you're doing it all alone. So it's the same thing when you're married. You need to readjust to the married life. It's not about I anymore. It's not about my anymore, but it's about we. When it comes to finances, it's not about my money. And there is this famous statement that goes around all Facebook, YouTube, everywhere, that women say that his money is our money and my money is my money. That is devilish. That is devilish. There's nothing like that. You cannot, as a Christian woman, want a successful marriage and you make such a statement that his money is his money, is my money, and my money is my money. The degree of selfishness in marriages by women is appalling. Like when I listen to some women talk, I'm like, what? Like you hear a woman say, this one, it's my thing, it's my thing. It's my own. My husband does not need to know about it. You are still living a single life and you've not yet understood what marriage is. You've not yet understood that marriage is a covenant. You've not yet understood that you become one with your husband. And whatsoever affects him affects you. And whatsoever affects you affects him. That's how marriage is. And the way you become with Christ, that's the way you become with your husband. So you need to adjust, leave the my and let it become we, our money, our house, our everything. You cannot go and be talking somewhere. You say, hey, me, I'm doing it on my baby. I don't know about my husband, but me. Seriously? That is not how it's supposed to be. You are supposed to identify yourself according to what has happened, according to the covenant that you've gotten yourself into. The I should come to an end, and it should now be we, our money, not mine. Excuse me. Oh, I need to send this link to someone that wants to watch. Yeah. 1 minute. Yeah. So yeah, it's not about I, it's about we. The two have become one. As Amy has just said, the two have become one. We have messages here. If this message say marriage is not a time to relax, it's a time to be more. Exactly. It's a time to be more. One shall chase 1,000 and two shall chase 10,000. So if the things that you were even doing when you were alone, you should do more now, because you have someone that you can do it together. You have someone to encourage you. You have someone to push you. Yeah. Excuse me. So the transition has to happen psychologically as well. Yeah. So in your mind, you have to acknowledge that it's not about you anymore, but it's about us. So you know that whatsoever thing you do, affects your husband, and so whatsoever thing your husband does affects you. So it's about we. That's why we need to be careful the things we do and the things we say in marriages. Yeah, because it affects your husband, it affects your wife. And another thing that I want to talk about married women adjusting is the fact that, you see, if you were single and you were going out with your friends, and having fun, which is okay, and now you're married and now you're like, to your husband, and you want to favor your friends. You want your friend to feel like, oh, you haven't changed after you are married. What? You have to change after you're married. So if you have friends that will tell you, oh, you have changed after being married, you are no longer doing things with us. Yes, tell them that I love you guys, but now I have someone that I'm responsible for. So don't listen to your friends that will want you to neglect your husband for them. They are not good friends. Good friends will tell you, will not come and pester you and want you to go out with them every time when they know that you are now sharing your life with somebody else and it's not all about you. So don't go and favor your friends and go out and do things with your friends without taking your husband into consideration. I'm not saying that, when a married woman, you can no longer go out. No, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is we should not continue the way we were doing when we are single, when we now have a new role and we now have a new life that we are sharing with someone. You don't take your husband into consideration. You're like, whatever, to your husband, and then to your friends, you want to please them because you don't want that they should go and start saying nasty things about you, that you're married, you have changed. Some of them say those things because of jealousy. So you need to be careful. And on the other hand, I'm not saying that if you have friends after marriage, you should completely forget about them and say, I have nothing to do with you. Because that's what most married, you live like good friends, good relationships, and you're like, oh, I don't want anything to do with you anymore. Go your way, I'm married. No, we need balance. Balance. You can still have your friends and have fun, but at the same time, you know what matters. It's your husband that matters. It's not your friends that come first. No, it's your husband that comes first. So we need to be able to know how to readjust, and you adjust. You don't adjust. Women, most single women also have this thing where you get married and you still call your mom for everything. Your husband, you have a little misunderstanding with your husband. You take phone and you call your mother. Mama, do you know what he did today? No, you have to readjust it. Marriage is between a husband and a wife. So if you're calling your mother every time, you're giving an opening for third-party intervention, and no marriage with third-party intervention survives. Let me tell you, no marriage with third-party intervention, whether it's from your mother-in-law, father-in-law, sister, whosoever has a degree, a certain degree of intervention in your marriage, there's no way your marriage is going to survive with third-party intervention. Where you call your mother, call your father, your husband, rebukes you on something. It's like this, it's like this. You call your mother, call your auntie, call your grand uncle, you call everybody to tell them. You have not adjusted. And it's a big mistake you're making, because in time you're going to regret it. Because all the information you're spreading out to people, that is what they're going to use to judge your husband. That's what they're going to use, to treat him. They will treat him according to what you say or what you said. They will treat him like someone that is useless, as you tell them, someone that does not have any iota of respect, for you. Anything. I'm not saying that when you're going through a lot of things that are negative in your marriage, you shouldn't tell someone. No, I'm talking about you just calling about everything in your marriage, telling everyone. That's what I'm talking about. It's good that if you're going through an abusive marriage, it's good that you should talk to someone, you should get help. It's good. But you know what I'm talking about. I don't need to explain too much. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. Like, married women, that are newly married, need to readjust. Even some that have been married 10 years, 20 years, they still need to readjust, because it's like they have been married 10 years, 20 years, like they've not learned anything. It's like they've not grown. So we need to adjust. We need to adjust, like, into the married life. We know that it's a new life where you have been called to live, and where you've been called to give, and where you've been called to grow. It's just, marriage is just a lot that, that we need to benefit from, if we do it the right way, if we do it with the father involved. Yeah. So the next point I would like to talk about is It's like similar to what I spoke about before, but it's peculiar. It's like many married women not putting their husbands first. And I'm going to relate this to kids. A lot of married women feel like when they have kids, their husband is now last. You have a child, so your husband now doesn't mean anything to you. You know, everything that's about your child. Oh, you now all the names that you used to take to call your husband, now you now call your child. You're like, baby, sweetheart, my one and only. My so you are replacing your husband now with your child. So your husband now has become like nothing. And most men feel this. Most men feel this. I'm telling you, most men feel it. You know, the way I can tell that most men feel it is from the way I've seen most men react in such circumstances around me when I was growing up, and also with married people that I've got to meet. You know, I can see, you can see that a man is feeling that he's not being included. He's not first. You know, your child is first. I'm not saying that you shouldn't like cater for your child and give your child all the love and attention, but I'm saying that there need to be an understanding that your husband is the first for you. Because let me tell you, with time, your children will outgrow and they are going to leave. I was reading an article, and why is it that most divorces, or why is it that couples divorce a lot when their children leave? That's because they spent all of their time focusing on their children. They are focusing on them. We need to focus on our children. At the same time, we need to focus on us. We are the priority. Because if there is no us, there will be no good example for your children to go with. And there will be no good foundation for them. So most divorces come as a result of kids. Oh, I had my kids and then things fell apart. How do you mean things fell apart? You need to put things together so that things will not fall apart. There need to be a balance. You take care of your child, you give your husband his place. He is the first, and he's always going to be the first. Even after your kids have left, they are married, they are having their own families, he will be the only one that you will have. Don't have the marriage that when your children leave and then you and your husbands, you're like stranger. I've heard a lot of testimonies of women, of couples who felt like they were strangers after their kids got married and left the house because they did not find time to nurture their relationship. The wife did not value the man as the priority, as the first. It's important, and married women make a lot of mistakes, and most times it leads to divorce. You know, I've read a lot of articles on divorce, and one thing I noticed is that the reason why most divorce happen in late in marriage, I think it's not I think, according to the article I read, is because there was no building of the marriage in the past. There was no nurturing. There was no like connection that was being built. You know, a lot of things were taken for granted when it was not supposed to take it for granted. So that's why I'm talking about this part, saying that when you have a child, it's not the time for you to send your husband in the background. So women, it's my child. I carry. So what? So what if you carry the child nine months in your womb? Are you the first woman to carry a child 9 months in your womb? It's my child. It's all about my child. Really? Okay, let's see what will happen 20 years later. Let's see whether your child will come and be the husband. You know, because that's a mistake that a lot of married women make, and it's wrong. We need to learn how to correct this mistake. We need to learn how to see the things that, you know, married women are doing in their marriages that are wrong, and we try to rectify it before it's too late. You know, if you don't spend time preparing for your married life after your kids, you spend time repairing. And most times people cannot do it again. They are like, oh, except God intervenes and say, except you run to the Father and then he gives you wisdom on how to tackle it. That's the only solution to these marriages that are failing after like 20 years, 30 years, because the kids have left. It's your child that was putting your marriage together. Therefore, when they leave, you have nothing else to run to. Yeah, so we don't want to make that mistake. And also the mistake of putting your family first before your husband. Everything your family says is what is correct. Everything your family says is what your family says. Oh, I want you to come and stay. Your mother, your father will call you. Come and stay with us for 1 week. You know, And you not even consider your husband. You don't even see that, oh, let me make sure that, my husband, it's okay. You just go because your parents say I should come. You don't even consider your husband. You don't know that when you're married, your parents are no longer the ones that determine what happened in your life. You are now under the headship of the man, the leadership of the man. You are not under the leadership of your parents anymore. So as a married woman, we need to know these things because it's going to help us to have better marriages. It's going to help us to build better homes. It's going to help us to raise better children. It's going to help us, to have a better society. May God help us. Amen, my dear sister. Amen. God help us all. So that's what I'm trying to say. Like, you cannot put your job before your family. That's even the worst. And I remember one time Amy was saying here, talking about the fact that as a married woman, if you put your job, I think she was explaining, I think there was one video we made where she was explaining that if you put your job before your husband, it is wrong. It is wrong. Listen, don't listen to all those motivational speakers who come and tell you, go and walk. It doesn't matter what your husband says, go and walk. They are lying to you. I'm not saying that if your husband says you shouldn't walk, you should not go ahead and like have a discussion with him. That's what I'm saying, that journeys are different. Men don't just get up and say, my husband, I don't want my wife to work. No, there is always something. And it's good to always like understand where your husband is coming from. And they try to communicate. It's always a lack of communication that always leads to all of these things. There's no real man. Let me say real man because there are men who are not real. There's no man in his right senses, that is going to just get up and say, I don't want my wife to work just because he doesn't want you to work. No, there's always a reason. It's either you are being disrespectful to him because of that job. Yeah. And I remember Amy spoke about this thing. I can't remember the video, but she spoke, I think she was here, she should have like talked on that. I think she has had like, she has seen a lot of that. She could really like explain. She talked about women insulting their husband because they work, because they are working. It's something that we married men do a lot, and it's wrong. You work at the same time, you still play your role at home. It's important for us to know you work, you play your role at home. The husband works and he plays his role at home. It's reciprocal. It's supposed to be reciprocal. I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but so that's what I'm saying. We need to learn how to put our husbands first before our jobs, before our family, before our friends, before our children. The husband comes first. We need to place them where they are supposed to be. Not that, you know what I mean. I don't need to like explain a lot because, but yeah. So I think that's all that I put together. So I don't know. I think there are a lot more that we could have shared. If we had like a guest or Amy say yes, marriage is a very important ministry. If you make your job the priority, then who are you working for? Exactly. That's the statement I was looking for. Who are you working for? Yeah, especially in the call. Oh, I can see. Let me show. Okay, yes, marriage is very important ministry. If you make your job the priority, then who are you working for? Especially in the case of failed marriage. Exactly. Who are you working for? You want to work and come back and you don't have a marriage. Francois says, go deeper, please. I should go deeper. Thank you, Francois. Yeah, so who are you working for? You're working for the family, so you want to go and work. And I've seen many people lose their family because of job. Really? Okay. If it's not your priority, good for you. God bless you. But as a married woman, you're not called to put your job before your family. You're called to put your family first. Let me tell you, even when it comes to the church, the family first. Because I see women put their church first. They put their pastors first before their husbands. You go to church and you do everything in church. I'm not saying it's not wrong to do everything in church. Please don't go and misquote me. But I'm saying that your family is your priority. Your husband is your priority. So let's not make that mistake, please, married women. Let's not make that mistake. Amy says, imagine getting a divorce because you didn't have time for your husband and kids. That is negligence. Exactly. That is negligence. Exactly. You got a divorce because you were not there for your husband and kids. And so women think, okay, I'm working, I'm busy. Really? Okay, good for you. busy woman. Go on and work, and may God bless your hustle. Don't come and start crying later and say, oh, my marriage couldn't work. Keep me, is it anonymous or unanimous? I don't know. You start going to motivational speaker, pray for me, my marriage didn't work. No, it's now. These mistakes that I've listed here, it's now that we need to make changes. It's now that if you're making these kinds of mistakes, it's now that you need to get up and say, I'm done. No more. I'm no longer making this kind of mistakes, So I'm just going like to list through what I've been talking about. So if you're just joining us, let me see, Minnie. So like if you're just joining us, you can know. So the first thing I talked about today was the first mistake married women may make is leaving God out of their marriage. And I expatiated on that. I'm not going to go into that anymore because I want to come to the end of this video. The second mistake is supporting the wrong decision, like submitting foolishly. And I talked about that also. And the third one is not respecting their husband as the head. I talked about that also. And the fourth one was neglecting yourself physically, emotionally, knowledge-wise, professionally, and just being like a bag of cocoyam in your house. I talked about that also. And I also talked about not adjusting to married life from single life, still behaving like you're single. My account, my money, this. That is, someone that's immature with, a woman that is married that's immature with the way they talk, And the next one was not putting your husband first, neglecting your husband, not thinking about what matters to him, not putting him first. Yeah. So those are the points I brought today, and I really do hope that this is going to be like an eye-opening video for a married woman out there. Winnie's Corner is actually a place where I just want to share knowledge on relationship and marriage, because the ills in our society, it starts from the home. It starts from marriages that are not grounded in Christ. It starts from marriages that do not have good foundation. It starts from marriages where people are not knowledgeable enough to know how to behave in that marriage, to know how to produce good fruits in that marriage. And that's why, I created this platform, Winnie's Corner. And that's all I do here, to encourage, to inspire, to educate as much as I can. And I thank God for my friend Tabi Emilia, who joins me for this live show. She's really been a part of this thing, and it has really been very good, because she has really been one of the people that have been pushing me ahead, for this vision. This is a vision, and I would like you to be part of this vision. You can start by just liking my Facebook page. I also have a YouTube channel. You can start by also subscribing to my YouTube channel, so that you can be blessed. Knowledge is never wasted. Even if there are a lot of things that that you can share, you can always just come and be part of the conversation, share, write in the comment section, send me an email and say, oh, Winnie, I want you to talk about this. I want women to know about this. I will gladly want to hear from you. So if you want to be part of this vision, you are welcome. Yeah. So I think I'm going to come to the end of this video today. I really hope I did my best. The fact that, I was doing it alone, Amy wasn't there, but she was supporting me in the comment section. I really want to appreciate her, for always being there and supporting me. And you'll be glad to have her, next Friday, for another amazing episode. So Amy, Eloho says, great talk. Thank you, sis. Oh, Dr. Eloho, she was with us last week. Thank you for being part of the show. Thank you for encouraging me. Amy, thank you for today's great discussion. Thank you too for today's great discussion in the comment section. Yeah, Francois say thank you so much for the great topic. Thank you, dear. So thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you guys being part of this. And like I said, every Friday we have a live show with me, Winnie, and Amy. So if you want to be part of it, that's great. If you want, if there's a topic you want us to talk about, you can send us an email. Next time I'm going to write my email so it can go under there. So you can write it down, send me an email, and we'll be glad to have you to be part of the discussion, So Jacqueline says great points. Thank you so much, Jackie. So I want to thank you guys. I'm done for today. Thank you guys so much. I really do appreciate. And please like my Facebook page. Thank you, and see you next Friday for another live show. Bye bye.